Yeah, Dave, just comment on the pitching in general. I mean, to have 16, 17 strikeouts in a performance like tonight.
I mean, pitching the last two nights has been outstanding. Obviously, it took our offense a while to get going, really both nights, and uh, we made a few base running mistakes after really running the bases well on Saturday, and kind of it hurt us tonight, but we overcame it. But the pitchers, I talked to them about in the outfield. Just what a great job they've done the last couple of days after the first day didn't go so well. So they bounced back. They're tough, and Lockhart gave us some quality innings. I don't know what it was, 4 innings, and then obviously, we went through a few, with Taylor and Wiggins and Costi and them, and obviously Cops came in and shut the door the last 2 innings.
Just how big for Franklin to get the big hit, considering he's had the slow start?
Yeah, we knew it was coming. I mean, he hit a ball deep to center field the other night, about 405, and lined out to left, hit a ball pretty good to center. Obviously, he struck out more than normal, but we kind of knew it was coming. He's level-headed. He hung in there, and we kept telling him, "Hey, it's coming. Just keep swinging. You're fine. We're not upset. It happens. It's the way the game works."
Hutch.
Yeah, Dave, Cops didn't have the best outing in game one, but what gave you the confidence to go to him again in a big spot tonight?
Probably more than anything, just experience. And we know pretty quick if he's got that cutter going, and he did. So, we decided once we saw him out there, if it hadn't gone good the first hit or two, we would have gone to someone else. And we had some good arms out there that haven't thrown yet. Nolan, Morris. We got Adams, Gray. Some of these guys, and some of you guys haven't seen them, but they're pretty good. So just give him the first shot, and he had a good eighth inning. We thought, hey, send him back out. Glad we punched in a couple runs, give us a little bit of breathing room, and just glad he threw well. Good for him.
Matt.
Hey, what did this weekend say about the SEC West with the way that the three teams performed down there?
Yeah, they're three pretty good teams, here, and there's a few more back in their hometowns right now too. So the division is going to be tough. The whole league is tough. It's what can you say? There's some good teams here from the Big 12, and obviously it can flip from weekend to weekend, but the teams from our league played really well this weekend.
Kendall.
Coach, I was talking to Sauce a minute ago just about your offense. Just seems like you guys are always waiting to strike, and he said he thought this lineup, at least from a game planning perspective, is more balanced than the 2019 lineup. Would you agree with that assessment?
I don't know yet, to be honest with you. I mean, I just have to see it a little bit longer, and if you put Goodhart in there and we make a move here or there, it can be deep. Right now we have, a couple guys that aren't swinging it real well, but, you look at the weekend as a whole, it's like a couple guys here the first night, a couple guys yesterday, and, really a little bit of everybody tonight, but it took us about 7 innings to get it going. I still think that, we're still feeling our way. Exactly what order I want to put these guys in that scores runs. And again, if we can get Matt Goodhart back in this lineup, it's going to make it deeper, and it's going to be a tough lineup to maneuver through throughout the game, where we feel like, hey, we can keep it close. We can put together an inning or two and maybe win a game.
And real quick, I guess just moving forward as you kind of get closer to conference play and try to set your weekend rotation, like how tough is it now when you see like Caleb Bolden and Jackson Wiggins out there throwing 96, 98 with filthy stuff? I mean, it's a pretty tough decision at this point moving forward.
I like having some decisions, though. It's good. Wiggins is a guy that we almost started here, but we also could use him as a closer for a while. He's definitely a starting pitcher, whether it's this year or in the future, but he doesn't care. He'll do what's best for our team, and he's got a good arm. He's got a plus changeup. He's got a good curveball too when he needs to use it. And I mean, what could you say? Bolden was outstanding last night. I think he went 4 innings, didn't give up a hit. I don't know if he walked anybody. I think he hit somebody, but it's and Caleb, Bolden's another guy that he was the hardest conversation. that Coach Hobbs had with pitchers on not starting. And it was great to just see what he could do, and he did it. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. But we have 2 days, and then we have 4 games in a row, Thursday through Sunday. So we're going to have to figure out how we're going to handle this. And some guys are going to get the ball this week.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Hayden.
Hey, Coach, I was just wondering how big Opitz was with all the strikeouts. Obviously, those pitchers performed extremely well, but to have him back, have the control, keep those guys calm, and then how big was his insurance run at the end of the ball game?
Well, I mean, as far as catching, I mean, he called. I think we sent in maybe 3 pitches the whole game. He called every pitch, and except those 3, and obviously he got us some low strikes with the way he handles his glove back there, and he just makes everything look maybe a little better than it really is. And I mean, he's unbelievably valuable to this pitching staff. And obviously the double. I mean, left-hander hadn't given up a whole lot last year. This year, I mean, he's got good stuff, and he stayed over some fastballs, fouled a couple off, and I think he just made a mistake and left it out over the plate. And he drove it to the wall. That was huge for us.
Tom.
Yeah, Dave, I was going to ask you what the first couple of TCU pitchers did to keep y'all off balance and couldn't really mount anything there for 7 innings.
Yeah, I mean, their starter, left-hander Grover, whatever, he was he just moved the ball in and out. He got us with a hard cutter / fastball in to our right-handers and locked us up, pitch us away and then bust us in. And we struck out a lot, but I mean, 6 or 7 of them were probably backwards Ks. We didn't even swing. And we usually don't do that too much. We're usually going to go down. We're going to go down swinging. And I mean, that's what he did more than anything. He just he mixed and matched. He's a good pitcher. And the second guy, I mean, he said good stuff. What can you say? He's throwing hard, keeping the ball down, movement, sink, and we just didn't hit it.
Okay, and your big picture thoughts going into this 4-game set against a former player and assistant coach for you? Yeah,
playing Southeast Missouri State. And Andy Sawyer's the head coach. He played for me at Nebraska, and then obviously Trevor Ezel was one of our, he was our starter, our kind of our glue of that 19 team. Ended up being a leadoff man there, and he's back there after pro ball. He kept getting hurt, blew out his knee, and now he's their volunteer assistant coach. And Trevor will be a great coach. So he knows a little bit how we run things and some of our secrets. So I'll probably have to change a few things up to get through this series without them figuring things out. But they went down to South Alabama this weekend and won 2 out of 3 against a team that's picked to win the league. So, they're not scared, and they've already played, and they played on the road. So it'll be a good series, and we'll be ready.
Bob.
Yeah, Dave, they'll probably try to sneak Trevor into the lineup, I bet, to hit. I know you said the other day, you can't read too much into these opening tournaments, but how good does it feel to go 3-0, beat 3 ranked teams, and do it with some late rallies and some dominant pitching at times?
Yeah, and I think what I mean by that is that if you lose, it's not the end of the world because you have your whole season. But what you learn from these tournament games, especially one this good, right, to start the season, which is very rare, is what you need to work on. And we learned a lot about our toughness and a little bit of the, how we're going to handle our pitching, but just that the team likes to play. And but winning 3 games, I mean, that's great, because any win you can grab with the schedule we're playing this year is a good thing. I mean, you look, the Western Division, we play on the road at Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU. I mean, I could go on and on. Alabama supposedly got the best pitcher in the league. So it's going to be, when you get wins, they're good.
Hutch.
You said you thought about starting Wiggins this weekend, but how would you assess his outing tonight?
I got a chuckle on that one. I mean, he saw 3 hitters and struck them all out, and it was the first time he got on the mound in college. I mean, about as good as it could go. He's throwing the ball extremely hard, and he threw some plus changeups, and just really happy for him because he's got a special arm, a big body, strong, and I don't think he gets rattled. and I like that about him. So he proved to us and his teammates that he deserves the ball as a starter in tight situations as a closer. So we're excited he's with us.
And could you kind of fill us in on what happened there in the 7th inning on the play where the left fielder made a almost diving catch and out at second?
Yeah, it's obviously Wallace hit that ball extremely hard, and they were playing really deep. And I thought it was over their head when he hit it, but they were playing no doubles, and basically the left fielder dove, caught the ball for a second, if that, and hit the ground. The ball came out. Our runners couldn't see the ball. I mean, what we needed to do there, our runner at first did not need to pass second base, because then he had to go back and touch the bag. So he took his eyes off the ball, didn't know where it was, and didn't realize it was on the ground. As a matter of fact, he didn't even know what happened until he came over at the end of the inning. And I told him, he thought there was just a transfer with the ball. He didn't know. But, Webb at second base, kind of the same thing, was kind of hanging out, and then he put his head down and running, and then he decided he better get back. And, we just needed to run with our eyes on the ball and just see if he really did have it. And so what happened is that Wallace passed Slavens at first base. So they called Wallace out, and Slavens stayed there at first. So that means there was no force out at second base.
Matt.
I think some people would probably be surprised to find out that you won all these games without using two of your more experienced pitchers, Nolan and Wicklander. How close did you come to using them this weekend, and how do they factor into what you have when you have 4 games against SEMO next week?
They'll both pitch. They may both start. So we'll make that decision here shortly. But they're definitely going to get the ball. And we had, we had Nolan and Gray up there at the end. And if it would have got a little bit dicey, we were gonna bring in Nolan, to be honest with you, and possibly Gray, but probably leaning towards the veteran there.
In the last 2 days, you've given up 4 hits. Was this? I know you probably can never expect your pitching staff to be that good, but was the last 2 days kind of what you thought you might get out of them this season?
Well, I mean, I don't expect 2 hits a game like we've had really the last couple of days. It's been amazing. I just know if they throw strikes and they get ahead of hitters, that they're tough, because they've all got pitches they can get you out with. You got to have something to get them off your fastball, and we've got a lot of guys with good secondary stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think that they think they're good. We think they're good, and we just need to continue to work and figure out how to use these guys.
Last one, Nate.
Yeah, if Goodhart's good to go, where do you put Slavens this weekend?
We'll see how that goes. If Goodhart's ready to go and he gets ready to hit and he feels good, we'll probably DH him. I mean, the way we work things right now is a lot of times Smith will play third base, Slavens will play first. We can put Slavens in right field. I mean, there's different options. I thought Gregory did a nice job the 2 times he came in this weekend, so I'd like to get him a start or 2 this week. And there's some young guys I want to get some at bats, but I don't know what's going on with Matt right now as far as timetable on getting him back. But until we get him back, some other guys are going to get some opportunities, and hopefully they do well.
Thank you.